Welcome, welcome everyone to Lennox Bennett channel. We'll be looking at the chemistry 2022, and that will be the January 2020 chatty chat, a very long video. Yeah, thanks for putting the name out there on TikTok. Anyway, guys, we're gonna be looking at the January 2022. Hit the like button if you have not done so. All right, if you have not subscribed, ensure that you do so now. All right, I want this to be the thumbnail, so I make it stay funny for a while. Yeah, you got the entire Meadowbrook High School, yeah? All right, guys, so let's get right into it now. And this is January 2022. Let's go. All right, one property of ionic compound is that they conduct electricity when molten or dissolved in water. All right. Number two, which of the following process provide evidence of a particulate nature of matter? One, diffusion, filtration, and osmosis. And that would be diffusion and osmosis. So that leaves us with what? B. 3. Sodium chloride has a high melting point because the ions are bound by strong electrostatic forces. All right, let's move on to 4. Which of the following mixtures are arranged in order of increasing particle size? A. Solutions, colloid, suspension. B. Solution, suspension, colloid. Or C. Colloid, solution, suspensions. Or D. Suspension, colloid, solution. And that would be A. Solution, colloid, and then suspension. Hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button right away. If you're not subscribed, please do so now. Right? Number 5. Sulfuric acid is stronger acid than ethanoic acid in aqueous solution because sulfuric acid A is more corrosive than ethanoic acid, B is more concentrated than ethanoic acid, C ionizes to a greater extent than ethanoic acid, or D causes sugar to char whereas ethanoic acid does not. And ionize to a greater extent than ethanoic acid. All right, let's move on to number 6. An atom has 20 electrons. When it ionizes, it has the same electronic configuration as, is it neon, argon, sodium, or calcium? And that is argon, not argon. Mr. Bennett, say chat too much. Which of the following elements does not form simple ions by gaining or losing electron? Is it carbon, copper, calcium, or chlorine? And that is carbon. What mass of oxygen atoms contain the same number of moles as 112 grams of sulfuric acid? Is it A, 0.56, B, 5.60 grams, or C, 56 grams, or is it D, 560 grams? And that would be 56 grams. All right, so let's move on to number 8. Hit the like button if you're just joining. The next minute is happy to have you here. This is the January 2022 paper. This is the last chemistry paper. So guys, I'm expecting a number of repeats on this paper. So ensure that you share it with others, all right? Barium is below calcium in group 2 of the periodic table. When both metals react with water, the main observed differences would be the rate of reaction and the A, type of product, B, type of gas evolved, C, reaction with litmus, or D, solubility of the product. And that would be D, solubility of the product. Let's move on to 10. A mixture of copper 2 oxide and copper 2 sulfate is best separated by, is it A, distilling the mixture, B, heating the mixture and condensing, C, shaking with excess water then filtering, or is it D, shaking with excess water followed by fractional distillation? And that would be shaking with excess water then filtering. Let's move on to 11. Hit the like button right away. Which of the following elements exhibit allotrophy? Is it silicon, carbon, uranium, or aluminium? And that would be carbon, carbon, carbon. All right, let's move on to 12. All right, so we look at the table, guys. Remember, you guys are encouraged to try. You have exam very shortly, so you guys should be able to answer majority of this. Item 12 to 4 refer to the following information, right? So we have element QRST, number of protons 888, and so forth, and the number of electrons, number of neutrons. And they go on and say, which of the following pair of elements are isotopes? A, Q and R, B, R, T, R and T, C, Q and S, R, D, R, D, S, and T. And that's C, Q, and S. All right. Which of the following element is an anion? Is it Q, R, S, or T? And that's T. All right, let's move on to 13. The element Q is it oxygen, chlorine, nitrogen, or sulfur? Let's go back to see the number of electrons, number of protons. So it have 888. Let's go back to the options. Is it oxygen, chlorine, nitrogen, or sulfur? And it is indeed oxygen. You should get this from the periodic table, guys. No one should be struggling with that. All right. 15, ethanoic acid reacts with ethanol to form an ester and water. How many moles of ethanoic acid are required to produce 0.5 mole of ester? And that will be B, 0.5. All right, so let's move on to 16. Crystals of sodium chloride are best described as, is it ionic, metallic, molecular, or macromolecular? And that is ionic. 17, which of the following substance does not conduct electricity? Is it lead, copper, ethanol, or ethanoic acid? And that's ethanol does not conduct electricity. Let's move on to 18. Two solutions are to be mixed in order to demonstrate endothermic change. Which of the following technique would be most appropriate? A, taking mass readings. B, taking temperature readings. C, monitoring the pH of the solution. Or D, carefully observing color changes. And that is taking the temperature reading. All right. So let's move on to 19. Hit the like button if you're just joining. Do so now. All right. If you have not subscribed, you need to do so you can get the rest of the videos. 19, a piece of metal is reacted with ethanoic acid. Oh, guys, if you want to join my City and Guilds, my CSEC, or my PEP class, or if you're at the university, I want some one-on-one, link me, all right? 876-549-2161. That is my number. It's on my channel also. A piece of metal is reacted with an acid to produce hydrogen. Increase the rate of reaction. 1, increasing the temperature which the reaction is carried out. 2, subdividing piece of metal. 3, reducing the concentration of acid. So that's 1 and 2. So that leaves us with A. 3 would not be. All right, so let's move on to number 20. Which of the following substances reacts with an acid, liberating a gas which turns lime water milky? Is it A, methyl orange, B, barium chloride, C, calcium carbonate, or D, magnesium metal? And that would be calcium carbonate. All right, so let's move on to 20. Which of the following diagram illustrates the course of exothermic reaction? I need to small this up so you guys can see all of them. I want you guys to be typing in the answer, and guys, remember how you do it, 21D, 21A, or whatever number you choose, all right? But put the number, don't just put D, C, A, that makes no sense. Put the number along with it. And then now you can watch the playback and see how many you got correct, all right? Should have said that at the start, but you guys should have known that by now. And that would be A. So like for this, you'll say 21A. 22 and 23 refer to the following by which refers to the following of substances, type of substances. Hold on, something like this. Good, good, good. Maybe look this because I'm not getting it. Item 22 and 23 refers to the following substances. All right. Oh, they just give you alkali, base, salt, and acid. So they give you the options up the top. I was thinking that was the actual question. In answering item 22, 23, each option may be used once more, once or once. Which of the following substance can be described as the oxide of a metal? Is it the alkali, the base, the salt, or the acid? Type in that, guys. And that is the base. So this would be the base. All right, 23. Which of the substances above supplies protons, the only positive ion in aqueous solution? And that would be acid. Hit the like button if you're just joining. Subscribe from now, guys. Watching the playback. All right. Item 24 refers to the following apparatus, which is used to measure the relative conductivity of various substances. If substance contain 1 mole of solidity per dm3 and are investigated, which substance should cause the bulb to glow brightest? Is it A, water, B, ammonia, B, sulfuric acid, or D, ethanoic acid? And that is sulfuric acid. 25. When a metal atom becomes an ion, it A, gains electrons and is oxidized, B, gains electron and is reduced, C, loses electrons and is reduced, or D, loses electron and is oxidized. Guys, you have to pay close attention to these. These are the ones that can be tricky. It loses electron and is oxidized. All right, so let's move on to 26. I think I need to small up this. Everyone can see all the options. Remember, we're doing this together. We're all in this thing together. Which of the following diagram illustrate a bonding in oxygen? Is it A, B, C, or D? Type in that, guys. Let's go. 20 seconds. And that would be B. All right, so let's move on to 27. Which of the following is correct formula of ammonium carbonate? Ammonium carbonate. Is it A, NH4CO3, B, NH4 bracket CO3 bracket 2 bracket NH4 2 CO3, or is it D, NH4 bracket 2 CO3 2? What's you guys say for that? You said C, you are correct. Guys, make sure not type fast now. Which of the following compounds solve in cold water? Is it lead sulfate, lead nitrate, lead chloride, or lead carbonate? And if you had said lead nitrate, you are correct. So that would be B. When a concentrated solution of sodium chloride is electrolyzed, which carbon electrodes? A, chlorine is liberated and at the anode. B, sodium is liberated at the cathode. C, the solution of the anode is acidic. Or D, the solution of the cathode is acidic. Chlorine is liberated at the anode, so that's what leaves us with A. All right, so let's move on to 30. We are halfway there, guys. Congratulations. We have reached halfway to the paper. Let's go, let's go. We have an exam to pass. Let's go. Hit the like button also. Go on, man. Which of the following statement is true for the equation below? Magnesium plus sulfuric acid plus magnesium, that. All right, A, hydrogen is oxidized from O to +1. B, hydrogen is reduced from +2 to 0. Mg is oxidized from 0 to +2, or Mg is reduced from +2 to 0. And that is C, from Z. Mg is oxidized from 0 to +2. We're halfway there, guys. Hit the like button. Let's go. We have to finish this paper. 31. When a piece of magnesium ribbon is burnt in the air, magnesium oxide is formed. The magnesium oxide is then placed in water and tested with a litmus solution, which turns blue. The experiment above shows the magnesium oxide is A, insoluble, B, neutral, C, acidic, or D, basic. And that would be basic. If you guys are doing that, you are correct. Which of the following substances is an important constituent in chlorophyll? Iron, copper, calcium, or magnesium? And that would be magnesium. So 32 is B. All right, let's move on to 33. Sulfur is used in which of the following processes? Vulcanizing of rubber. 2. Extraction of iron from iron ore. 3. Manufacture of explosive. And that would be 1 and 3. So it's vulcanization of rubber, and 2, manufacturing of explosive. I don't like even hear the word explosive. You might be someone in the world. All right, 34. Potassium is a metal. From this information only, it may be deducted that potassium is A, soft, B, is very reactive, C, has a low melting point, D, is a good conductor of electricity. And that's D, is a good conductor of electricity. It's a metal of a shock, you know. All right, so we are at 35. Which of the following observation is expected when aqueous silver nitrate is added to aqueous potassium chloride? A, a pungent gas is evolved. B, a blue precipitate appears. C, a white precipitate appears. Or D, a brown precipitate appears. And that would be C, a white precipitate appears. A white precipitate appears. So let's move on to 36. Which of the following metals will react most vigorous with dilute acid? Is it copper, iron, lead, or zinc? And that would be zinc. All right, so let's move on to 37. Which of the following statements explains why, over time, aluminum products do not deteriorate in air as do iron products? This one is a repeat from our previous videos. A, aluminum is lower than iron in activity series, therefore it reacts less steadily with air than iron. B, aluminum is higher up in activity series than iron, therefore is more resistant to corrosion than iron. C, both metals from oxide coats, but the aluminum oxide prevents further reaction while the iron oxide does not. D, both metals form hydroxide coats, but the aluminum hydroxide prevents the further reaction while the iron hydroxide does not. All right, so what you guys say for number 37? C, both metals from oxide coats, but the aluminum oxide prevents further reaction while the iron oxide does. So 37, if you like one. 38, which of the following procedure can be used to identify ammonia gas? A, passing the gas through the lime water. B, placing the burning splint in a jar of gas. C, placing a glowing splint in a jar of the gas. Or D, placing moist red and blue litmus paper in the jar of the gas. As you guys say for that, type it in. Remember, put the number. 38 was D. So you just put 38 D, not just D. All right, so let's move on to 39. Ammonia may be produced in the laboratory by heating a mixture of ammonium chloride and, you guys type in this one also. Is it ammonium sulfate? 2, calcium hydroxide. C, calcium chloride. Or D, copper. Remember, guys, if you want to be a part of my maths class, you have to link from early. All right, a lot of persons calling already. And that 40, the melting point of the electrolyte. B, carbon anode. Or D, as the electrolyte. And that would be to lower the melting point of the electrolyte. All right, so let's move on to 41. Carbon anode tends to A, reacts with the chloride. 2, B, be oxidized by oxygen. C, dissolve in the electrolyte. Or D, be oxidized by fluorine from cricolite. And that would be to oxidize by oxygen. So if you guys had said B, you button, only power up, listen, only power up. Which of the following aqueous solution will produce yellow precipitate with aqueous potassium iodide? Is it A, lead nitrate, B, zinc sulfate, C, calcium chloride, or D, sodium carbonate? And that would be A, lead nitrate. Pick up the entire Meadowbrook staff, family, everybody. All right? Pick up St. Mary's at the same time. Pick up everybody in Jamaica. Pick up everybody in the Caribbean. Pick up everybody in the world. All right. 43. Which of the following are true of non-metals? 1, they are reducing agents. 2, they are capable of replacing hydrogen in acid to form salts. 3, they are generally poor conductor of electricity. So we know 3 cannot be included, right? Oh, non-metal. Oh, it's non-metal, so 3 have to be included. So that would be C, they're reducing agent and they are generally poor conductor of electricity. Remember, metals are good conductor of electricity, so that means non-metals would be, all right, poor conductor of electricity, like rubber. All right, hexane is an alkane with 6 carbon atoms per molecule. Which of the following is the formula of the hexane? Is it A, 6CH12, B, 6 C6H14, C, C6H10, or D, C6H18. Remember, guys, type in the answer for the form, and that is C6. I'm just write it just in case somebody forget the answer. Check on that channel here. All right, so let's move on to 45. Item 45 represents the following structure of 2 organic compounds. 1, 2, where's molecule? All right, compounds 1 and 2 are known as, okay, is it isomers of C3H0, isotopes of C3H0, condensing formula of CH3O, or molecular formula of C3H4O. And that is isomers of C3H8O. All right, so let's move on to 46. Some of these are principal, guys. Which of the following feature is not true of all homogeneous series of compounds? The members of the series have A, the same functional group, B, the same general formula, C, similar chemical properties, or D, same empirical formula. And that would be the same empirical formula. All right, so let's move on to 47. Hit the like button, guys. If you have not done so, please hit the like button. All right, that's not hard, guys. Come on, you can do that, man. You can do that. The reason why I want you guys to hit the like button is so other persons can get the benefit of the video. Don't be selfish. Everybody wants to understand. All right, so let's move on to 47, and they gave us that, and it said what is the correct structure? This way. And we are supposed to choose. I want you guys to see the options. I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds to complete this. Type it in, guys. Is it A, B, C, or D? We have reached majority of this. I'm very happy. All right. Do remember to subscribe, guys. If you have not yet subscribed, you need to. Time is almost up. Buy a link. If you're at home, you know you're still in a country. Yeah. Even buy them from and scan them. People appreciate me, but that's okay, man. That's okay. My money me spend, and my money me spend. All right. If you had put B, you are correct. All right. Got the structure very good. One more time before we move on. All right. Let's move on to 48. Item 48 refers to the fully displayed structural formula of compound Q, R, and X shown below. And they show this structure, so you look at those Q, R, S, I. Which of the following correctly identify the homologous series of which compound belongs? A, ester, B, acid, alcohol, and so on. Right? So we are supposed to match. Like, for example, is this an ester? Is this an alcohol? Or is an acid? So match them correctly, guys. 30 seconds to do so. Type in the answer. Let's go. Let's go. This is a repeat question. I did this on my previous video. It's an acid. This is an alcohol. All right, so that would be E49. Let's go, guys. Just 10 to go. One, so, all right. An organic structure, when reacted with bromine water, decolorize immediately. The substance is most likely, and let's read again, an organic substance, when reacted with bromine water, decolorize it immediately. The substance is most likely A, an alcohol, B, alkane, E, alkene, or D, ester. And that is alkene, so that will be C. All right, so after this, just tend to go hit the like button. 50, which of the following is fully displayed structural formula of 2-bromobutane. All right, so let's go. You guys say for this one, 30 seconds. That's enough. I don't want the video to be long, guys. And that would be C. All right. So 51, you guys can always watch the video. When a hydrocarbon molecule is cracked, which of the following smaller molecules are produced? A, and 1 alkane, alkene, and 3 and alcohol. Which of these are produced? And that would be alkane and alkene. So for this, it would be A. All right, 52. A polymer is formed by condensation reaction when a molecule containing A, at least one COOH group, and another containing at least one Na minus NH2 group, 2, at least one OH group, and another containing at least one COOH group, C, at least one OH group, and another containing at least one NH2 group, or D, 2 OH groups and another containing 2 COOH group. At least one COOH group and another containing at least one NH2 group. All right, so let's move on to 53. 53 refers to the following graph, which shows the boiling point of some straight chain alcohol. All right, so we have the number of atoms in the chain, and then we have the boiling point. Which of the following molecular formula represent the alcohols whose boiling point is 160 degrees? Come on, guys, type it in fast. So one. All right. If you had said A, you are indeed correct. I don't like the last part of the paper. I can accept it. All right. So this is here 2022. Which reaction involves the boiling of a fat or oil with aqueous sodium hydroxide or caustic soda? Hydrolysis, dehydration, C, saponification, or D, esterification. And that is sonification. All right, let's move on to 55. Hope you guys are seeing. The major natural source of alkanes and alkenes is A, petroleum, B, natural gas, C, the atmosphere, or D, the earth crust. Type in that first, guys. Thunder roll. And that is petroleum. 56. Which of the following reaction occurs between propene and bromine? A, addition, B, substitution, D, precipitation, or D, condensation. And that is addition. Mathematics. Mathematics is from maths class. I'll be doing receipt for January 2023. You guys have to link me early, limited space. All right. Like the persons are calling and so forth. So I want to finalize as soon as August when results come out. All right. So 57. Which of the following compounds can be decolorized? Potassium magnate 7. So look at these and tell me which guys. Is it A, B, C, or D? And that would be B. Look at this structure. 58. Which of the following substances is not a polymer? Nylon, protein, fructose, or cellulose? And that would be fructose. I'm gonna say 6. Oh, soapless detergent. I've come to the end, guys. Soapless detergents are A, made from fats, B, all biodegradable, C, inorganic materials, or D, not affected by hard water. Soapless detergents are not affected by hard water. All right, so let's move on to number 60 and last. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end. If you have not liked the video, now is the time to do so. If you have not subscribed, this is the time to do so. so you can get the benefit of other videos. All right, the fermentation of gas using glucose as the substrate can be represented by the equation. I don't have time to go through all of that, but you guys, I'm gonna give you guys 30 seconds before I give the solution, and then you guys can make sure someone like, so don't be selfish now, guys. Be successful. We don't have to do no scamming, right? Yeah. All right, so the time is up. That could be C. Thank you guys so much for watching the Linux Phoenix channel. I appreciate you all. This is Linux Phoenix. I'm out. See you guys in another video.